Tottenham 0 Chelsea 3. 5 talking points as the Blues' unbeaten start continues. Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea now sit second in the Premier League table after an impressive 3-0 win away at Tottenham, leapfrogging title rivals Man Utd in the process. A London derby between Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea with a twist, the world's first ever net zero carbon football match provided spectators with a top-class contest between two sides with varying ambitions this season. Pre-match discourse was sombre given the sad news of Jimmy Greaves, one of football's finest goal scorers, passing at aged 81, so it was somewhat fitting that two of the Premier League's most prolific strikers were on show for the contest in Harry Kane and Romelu Lukaku. Nuno Espirito Santo's side deployed an attacking trio to go toe-to-toe with Chelsea's back three and immediately started the brighter of the two sides. Tottenham's clash with Chelsea was dubbed Game Zero, as it was the world's first net zero carbon elite football fixture. However, Thiago Silva became the second oldest Premier League goal scorer in Chelsea's history to swing the momentum in Thomas Tuchel's side's favour. N'Golo Kante bagged a rare goal shortly after to cap off a professional display from Chelsea, before Antonio Rudiger put the game beyond any doubt for the Blues, who are yet to taste defeat this season. The battle of the strikers. Harry Kane's wait for a Premier League goal this season continues. The most obvious storyline to dominate this clash was who would come out on top in the battle of the strikers as Lukaku met Kane for the first time since the Belgians returned to England after 2 years in Italy. Chelsea's marquee signing has certainly started the season in brighter fashion, Lukaku boasting 3 Premier League goals coming into this tie while Kane was waiting for his first. Romelu Lukaku versus Harry Kane, what Chelsea and Tottenham managers and strikers have said. Thiago Silva's leadership shines through with advice for Saul after dire Chelsea debut. The first chance fell to the England skipper, but his close-range free kick failed to test Kepa and instead struck the Chelsea wall. Kane's influence waned from that point onwards, while Lukaku hardly fared much better, the 28-year-old struggling to get the better of Spurs centre-backs Eric Dier and Christian Romero. Chelsea's leading man did become more involved as the game opened up given Spurs' desperation late on, but failed to join Silva, Kante and Rudiger on the scoresheet. Final third struggles. Mason Mount was guilty of scuppering one Chelsea counter-attack after under-hitting his pass to Romelu Lukaku. Two sides with varying styles, but one running theme seemed to ring true for the entire contest: poor passing when and where it mattered most. Chelsea's attempts at counter-attacking their hosts looked promising on a number of occasions, only for one of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz and even Lukaku to under-hit the crucial vital ball and halt the attack in its tracks. Mount's display left a lot to be desired, hence Tuchel's decision to haul him off at half-time. It was a similar story for Spurs, who for all the pressure failed to get Kane into the contest as much as Santo would have hoped over the course of the 90 minutes. Tanguy Ndombele was rewarded for his superb showing against Rennes in the Europa Conference League, but struggled to recreate his midweek heroics against tougher opposition. The first 45 minutes passed by with so little to note for the visitors it actually marked the first time Tuchel's Chelsea failed to register a shot on target in the first half of a Premier League game. Former Man Utd midfielder and current pundit Roy Keane bemoaned, "The final ball has not been good enough at half-time. It barely improved after the interval for Mount and Havertz, who were both replaced." Kante's introduction. Being able to introduce a World Cup winner of any kind is a nice tactic for any manager to have in their armory, but when they're as influential on a contest as N'Golo Kante, it takes things up a notch. The Frenchman was brought on at the interval and immediately turned the Tottenham tide in Chelsea's favour. It is no coincidence the Blues bagged 2 within 15 minutes of Kante's arrival. The second of which came from the boot of the man himself, though it did take a significant deflection off of Eric Dier and the woodwork before it eventually trickled into the back of Hugo Lloris's net. Kante offered Chelsea something their first half performance lacked, offering a seemingly effortless transition between defense and attack while sniffing out any danger offered by the hosts. Kepa's surprise start. The much-maligned Spanish shot-stopper was thrust into the thick of the action after usual number 1 Edouard Mendy sustained an injury in training. Purchased for £72 million back in the summer of 2018, Kepa Arrizabalaga has undeniably struggled to hit the heights many had hoped he would at Stamford Bridge, but his time at the club has not been without its highlights. Whether today can be considered one of them is another matter. For all of Tottenham's early pressure, the Spaniard was rarely troubled until the 20th minute when he fumbled a cross which was one Rudiger block away from being costly. However, every inch the modern goalkeeper, Kepa then came to the German defender's rescue just minutes later after he was left in Son's wake only for his keeper to sprint off his line and avert any crisis. His speed came to his aid once again shortly after as he thwarted Son as he bared down on goal, the South Korean's heavy touch presenting Kepa with the chance to make a solid save. Kepa sealed off his surprise appearance with a clean sheet, though Mendy will expect to return as number 1 once back to full fitness. Son's return. Given Tottenham's current luck with injury, the return of Son Heung-min was a welcome sight for the home faithful after he sat out last Saturday's 3-0 defeat at Crystal Palace. Attackers Steven Bergwijn and Lucas Moura both failed late fitness tests and were forced to miss Chelsea's visit, but Son provides Santo's side with something the aforementioned duo lack in: slightly goal threat. Constantly striving to get forward, Son's first effort on goal came less than 90 seconds in, immediately sparking the home fans into life and placing the European champions under unwanted pressure. Seemingly set the task of targeting Thiago Silva, Son's pace was a thorn in the side of the 36-year-old stalwart early on, but signs of rust developed as the game went on as his contributions decreased. While he failed to get on the scoresheet and salvaged the points for Spurs, the Tottenham faithful will simply be happy to see him fit as the shadow of Sunday's North London derby looms large. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for up-to-date news from all around the globe. Thanks for watching. It was latest football news daily. Have a nice one, and see you in a bit.